What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here today we're gonna do 3 reviews today. So I know I'm behind you guys. Tuesday, unfortunately, my DVR it decided that it did not want for me to watch anything. Whenever I would watch a show, I would try to fast forward it or even rewind it. It would start the entire show over, so I didn't get to watch games people play. Our kind of people on the Oval or Queens on Tuesday, right? So what we're gonna do is today is Thursday. So what I'm doing right now is I'm gonna do the Oval. This is the Oval. This is season 3. This is episode number. Let me get the episode, you guys. Episode 6, A Family Matter, right? So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do the Oval right now. Then we'll do Sisters, and then we will do Our Kind of People. And then later you guys will see Queens as well as games people play. And then tonight you guys will, I don't know how this is gonna work, right? But on my list I still have Queens, games people play, Marriage Bootcamp Hip Hop Edition, and then I'm going to be doing, I'm gonna try to do Hot Topics this week for you guys. I'm gonna try to get it out, and then I'm gonna give you guys a review of Silk Sonic's album. So with that out the way, you guys, before we get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel and are not subscribed to the channel, I need you guys to do me a big favor, hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications on, share the video, and with that out the way, you guys, without further ado, let's get into the review, shall we? All right, you guys, so I might be a little bit annoyed because remember I just told you guys that when I was watching, it was actually the Oval that I was watching, right? It kept going back to assisted living, the ending of assisted living with Mr. Brown and whoever that other man is. It kept going back to them. So I would have to rewatch this whole scene with Victoria and Priscilla on repeat. And I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. Each time that I had to watch this scene, it annoyed me even more than the first time, right? So Victoria and Priscilla, you guys remember, they went into the yellow room to have a conversation with each other, right? Victoria is still antagonizing Priscilla. Why, I don't necessarily know. You know, she's like, oh, you don't like the color of the room. She's like, she says, it's whatever, you know, I just don't like pink. She's like, pink, like pussy pink. And I was like, okay. So Priscilla was giving Victoria as good as Victoria was giving to her, right? So Victoria tells Priscilla that she needs to get over what happened with Sam. And I'm like, that's a contradiction, because here you are beating up Ellie, you beat up Denise because they're sleeping with Hunter, a man that you loathe and despise. So I was just like, please, Victoria, in some way make that make sense to me. You want her to get over you sleeping with her husband, but you can't get over the women sleeping with your husband that you can't stand. She loves her husband, you don't. So then they had this, the dialogue between this scene was very long and very repetitive, right? So Victoria says, you know, she could have had Priscilla fired or demoted, but she won't. And Victoria tells her that just because you're fucking my father doesn't mean you have power over me. And she was like, girl, I am not having sex with your father. Your father is dead, damn near dead. And his penis, I'm pretty sure that thing killed over a long time ago, right? So she tells her, you know, that, yeah, so then Victoria is telling her that, you know, she doesn't want her to cook for her, right? You cook for the demon seed and my husband, but for me, you don't cook for me, right? So then Sam comes in to get Victoria just to let her know about Jason, right? So then we see Hunter, you know, he's talking to Donald. He tells Donald that he needs him to set up a tour for Sharon. That's not what Donald came in there for. Donald actually came in there to tell him about, you know, Jason trying to unlive himself, right? So that's what Jason does. He does eventually tell him about Jason. So then we see Victoria and Hunter, they're in the residence, right? She's saying that Dr. Meadows didn't help, which that is the truth. Dr. Meadows has helped nothing. Only thing Dr. Meadows has been good for is dressing inappropriately. And so then Victoria and Hunter start hurling insults at each other. I'm like, neither one of you are parents of the year, so you both are just equally horrible as parents, right? So Victoria eventually leaves, you know, Jason talking about, you know, he wants to take her out basically. And she's like, you know what, I'm out of here. So then Hunter tries to play a concerned father to Jason, and Jason tells him basically, go to hell, Hunter. Exactly. You've been running around here philandering, and now you want to come play Daddy of the Year? Yeah, Hunter, go away. We're going to move forward, you guys. All right, you guys. So next up, we see Donald. So Donald calls Alonzo. Now, didn't Alonzo Alonzo was telling Sam that he doesn't want to be on Jason after what Jason did to him the last time. But Donald wants Alonzo to keep an eye on Jason. Donald tells him, you know, if he has to pee, anything like that, you're right there with him. Absolutely not. You know that kid is a nutcase. I refuse. So then Donald tells Hunter that they're going to have to send Jason somewhere. He's like, yeah, I know. You don't care. So we see Alonzo. So Alonzo, he went into Jason's room, right? And he tells him that, you know, he's basically there to keep him company. And he said, are you some kind of, he said, what if I have to go to the bathroom? He says, and I'll be right there with you. He says, are you some kind of freak or something? I'm like, you of all people have no room to call anybody a freak. Let's keep it real. You don't have any room to talk about anybody, Mr. Jason. So then let's see, we're gonna move over to Richard. So Richard, he is getting ready to head to work, right? He tells Barry, hey, you coming with me today. Go get your clearance badge so you can go with me so you can talk to your Uncle Sam. So they're gonna do that, right? So then Barry goes to get his badge, and then, you know, him and Nancy are there, right? So he gives Nancy an envelope. He says, this is for Picky's funeral. I was like, wait one damn minute. We still have not buried Picky at this point. How long has Picky been dead? I mean, I know for us it's been, we're on season 3. For us, we're on season 3, but for them, what is the timeline of this show? I still try to remember, I've tried to think about it. What is a timeline? Actually, this is a matter of days. Day or days. Because when Richard found out about Picky, that was the night that he died, right? So this got to be the next day. Or 2, maybe. I don't know. If you guys know how long Picky's been dead, please leave it in the comment section, okay? So, yeah. Suffice it to say, Picky has not been buried yet. I'm going to pause here and we're going to move forward. Because this next scene that is up, I got a lot to say about it. I just feel some type of way about the way. I feel some type of way about it. So let's move forward. All right, you guys. So next up, let's talk about Hunter. Hunter, I just don't like the way that this character has been written, right? He fetishizes black women and it's just disgusting to me. So you guys know he gave Sharon his phone number and now he's calling Sharon. So Sharon sees the phone call and it has a presidential logo on it, right? And she declines the call, right? Oh, why did he do that? Well, I mean, why did she do that, right? God forbid this black woman is not interested in, being your fetish. Basically, that's really what it is with Hunter. It's a fetish. So then he calls Kyle, right? So then we see Sharon and Kareem, they're talking. Honestly, Sharon and Kareem, annoying. That's all I gotta say. So Kareem really gets Cornball of the Year award from me. So then Dale comes in. Dale has left the hospital and he tells them that he didn't really feel safe there, right? And he says that Donald came to see him. So they were like, you know what? We're gonna take you back home. He's like, no, I'm fine. They're like, okay, well we'll just take you to the office real quick, right? So then we see move back over to the White House, right? Hunter is not even concerned about the fact that Jason just literally tried to unlive himself, right? Hunter is more focused on Sharon and the fact that Sharon did not answer his call. And he's like, well, I'm the president of the United States and why would she do that? Dude, just because you're the president doesn't mean you have, power over who talks to you and who doesn't talk to you. That's what I don't like. It's just the fact that it's a black woman turning him down. Oh, God forbid this black woman turn me down. I just don't like that. I really don't like that. So what he wants from Kyle is for Kyle to go find Sharon and bring her to him by any means necessary. I'm just sitting thinking to myself, why did we write this in the script? Why is this written in the script that this white man wants this black woman brought to him by any means necessary? Okay. I just didn't like that scene. I hated it. So then we see Barry and Richard there at the White House, right? So Barry is telling Sam about the night that he saw Max at Denise's store, right? He was getting Denise. He had white gloves on. It did not appear as if Denise wanted to go with him, right? He said he hit, when was this? Oh, that's right. He did go to her store that one day because when he was looking for Ruth. Okay. So Sam, Barry leaves, right? So it's Sam and Richard there talking, right? So Sam asks Richard, is Priscilla working with another department? Richard says he doesn't know, which we're going to talk about that in a little bit as well. So then Bobby and Lily, this scene right here, I don't know why we really needed it because it was just one scene and that was it. But we see Bobby and Lily as they pull up to the White House. Now she let him out by the check-in, right? And she kept going. I really don't understand why we needed that, but hey, we got it. Let's move forward. All right, you guys, so next let's move back over to Sharon. So Sharon is asking Dale, like when Donald came to the hospital room, what did he say to you? He says he told him that he had him shot, but it was a non-fatal shot, whatever that means. So then she says, well, how about we call the police? And Dale was like, I don't think we shouldn't do that because these people are very connected. And I think that's what these people are banking on, the fact that, this is the White House, this is the president, this is the chief of staff, this is the first lady, this is the first son, this is the first daughter. I think that's what they're banking on, is the fact that people will be like, oh my God, the president of the United States is doing this to me. I can't tell people this. Or, oh, the chief of staff had me shot. I can't go to the police because the police are probably in their back pockets, right? So I think that's what they're banking on, but I mean, right is right and wrong is wrong, right? It doesn't matter if you're the president, the chief of staff, the first lady, the Queen of Sheba, whoever. If you've done something wrong, you need to be held accountable for what you've done wrong. But like I said, I think that these people thrive off of the power. They live for the power and they live to exert that power. So yeah. Where we at? So then, he begs her not to call the police, right? So Kareem comes in and, actually, no, he didn't come in. She gave him some pills to take and then she left out and she's talking to Kareem. Kareem, at this point, he's worried about if Dale is wanted by people. Well, Kareem, that's why you could do something I like to call a background check, just to see what's in a person's past before you actually hire them, but whatever. Maybe I'm the wrong one. So then we move back over to Richard and Priscilla, right? So they're in the kitchen and they're talking and he's asking her, like, after you went off on the first lady, she's like, nah, I cussed that bitch out. He's like, okay, yeah, you cussed out. How do you still have a job? And, she then tells him, like, she wants you to serve her. Like, she don't trust me. So then, she tells him about what happened with Jason trying to unlive himself. And this was an interesting scene, right? Because at one point, Richard and Priscilla was having this conversation about this secret clearance that they have. And I was like, so are you guys both in on it together? Because he's like, Sam is asking a lot of questions at this point. I was like, okay, what's going on here? So then we see Max. So Max is in this interrogation room. He thinks that there's someone on the other side looking at him, which there probably is someone. He's like, what do you want from me? After all that I've done for this country, this is how you treat me? So he starts going batshit crazy on that room, just starts, hitting the walls with the chair and all that kind of stuff, right? I was like, oh, they're going to get you to crack pretty soon. So we're going to pause here, you guys, and we're going to wrap up. All right, you guys. So Alan, we see Alan. He's in his office. He's texting Alonzo and asking Alonzo, like, hey, so you still coming over to my place tonight to, help me out? Alonzo was like, I'm not going to be able to make it because I'm on duty watching the first son. He was like, how long is that going to be? He's like, no idea, until my relief gets here, right? So then Jason wants to have a conversation with Alonzo, right? He tells him that at some point, my friend, you're gonna have to pee. He's like, no, I'm fine. He's like, so what are you gonna do? He's like, I'll just wait here until, my replacement gets here, and then I'll handle my business, right? So then Jason asked him if he's ever choked anyone out. And, he was like, what you saw earlier with me on the door with the thing around my neck. So yeah, I wasn't really trying to unlive myself. I was just trying to get myself off. But the chair kind of fell out from up under me. I was like, okay, Jason, if that's what you want to say, right? So then he asked him if he ever someone, right? And Alonzo didn't answer him. He says, I bet you have. But then he wants to berate him, telling him, he calls him a weak bitch and this and this and that. I'm like, this is a Secret Service agent. Obviously, he's not a weak bitch, Jason. But I think Jason wants to test him. I'm like, okay, Jason, when you get your ass beat, don't say nothing. Because you asked for that ass whooping that's coming your way. Because you're literally about to get an ass whooping, right? So then we move over to the pharmacy. So Kareem, I guess, has left and taken Dale to the apartment, right? It's just Sharon in there. And so Sharon is locking up the store. A woman comes up. She's like, we're closed. Then she turns around and there's Kyle in the back. She's like, wait a minute. How did you get in here? Because the back door was locked. So you guys remember I told you Hunter said that he wanted Sharon brought to him by any means necessary. Well, we got the any means necessary. He was gonna kidnap her, but the thing is, Sharon put up a good fight with him, and then eventually she pulled up out on him, and that's where the episode ended, you guys. So let me know what you guys thought about the episode. It was okay. I just don't like when it comes down to it. I just don't like that Hunter stuff. It annoys me. It irritates me. It frustrates me. It infuriates me. It does everything to me. It just makes my skin crawl the way he does black women. But you guys, like I said, let me know what you guys thought about it. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell button so you guys are notified of when I drop the videos. Share this video and into the next one. You guys stay safe, take care of yourselves. Remember, wash your hands, wear a mask, socially distance, be blessed, and I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Bye.